We need to talk about the robot in the room. We almost had a suicide there. You've seen the headlines, you've heard the whispers in the Facebook groups. Maybe even you've heard a few AI voices and thought, well, shit, that's not awful. Yeah, I get it. The fear is real, the discomfort's real, and that existential pit of discouragement in your gut after a slow week of auditions, that's real too. But fear ain't a strategy, and neither is denial. So if you're sitting there asking yourself, well, hell, I wonder if there's even a spot for me in this industry of soulless series, let's get something straight right away. There absolutely is, but only if you position yourself to beat AI voices and not just coexist with them. All right, let's walk through what that really means. AI does not need a coffee break, kids. It doesn't need to be reminded how to name files properly. It doesn't take days off, it doesn't charge usage fees, and it doesn't bitch about pickups at midnight on a Tuesday night when the client's script changes for the third time. And like it or not, clients like that kind of predictability. It's cheap, it's fast, and on the surface, for a lot of people, it's good enough. But that's the dangerous part. Good enough lowers the bar. It makes clients wonder why they should pay extra to a real human when AI sorta, kinda does the job. You and I both know that voiceover is not just about hitting the right syllables with the right emphasis in the right order. It's about connection and nuance and that 2% extra that turns a shitty narration into something that actually moves, touches, and inspires people. That sells. And AI doesn't do that. It only simulates emotions. You live and emote. So your job isn't to stick your head in the sand and pretend AI doesn't exist. Your job is to do what only a real human voice actor can do. Look, AI is already chomping away at the low end, low ball work, the Fiverr work, the compliance-driven content that's made by huge corporations who in many cases don't care if it sounds like hot garbage. Let it take those. I've said this before, that's where AI is doing us a service. You're not trying to be the cheapest, you're trying to be the best investment. And the smart clients, the ones who care about quality and nuance and credibility, they already know that. They just need to be reminded sometimes, that's all. Position yourself as the voice that elevates their project, the one that adds relatability and depth and trust. You're not a line reader, you're a strategic asset. Already, AI can replicate tone. It can even inject a little breathiness, a hint of joy, a sliver of sarcasm. But it doesn't know why it's doing it. It's faking it based on prior patterns. But you, my friend, the voice actor, you understand the emotional journey. You've done the internal work, you've done the script work. You know what it means to tell the truth, even when you're talking about dry as a fart SaaS integration tools. That's what clients buy, not just the sound, but the experience and the intention behind the words. So stop, for the love of all things holy, competing on polish. Compete on authenticity. Yeah, AI voices are clean, but they're also predictable and sanitized and perfect. Your read should be a little raw, a little messy, unpredictable, unignorable. That's your edge. So keep this in mind. Positioning is not just about talent, and this is where a lot of voice actors get hung up. They think that just being a better actor will save them. It won't. You need to be a better actor and be better positioned. That means showing up at the right places with the right message for the right clients. Consistently branding yourself not as a vendor who reads words, but as a partner who solves problems. When a producer is comparing you to an AI voice, they're not comparing samples, they're comparing outcomes. Yeah, the AI tool might give them a voice, but you give them certainty, you give them flexibility. You, my friend, give them a creative collaborator who makes their life easier. So you need to start marketing like somebody who can do that. Start doing what AI can't do. AI can't build relationships. AI can't get referred by a happy client. AI can't get tagged in a LinkedIn post or an Instagram post as being awesome to work with. You can. AI doesn't notice when the script is all wrong for the target audience and politely suggests a tweak. You do. AI doesn't understand cultural nuance or sarcasm or how to time a punchline based on human rhythms, gut feel. But you do. All those things are invisible when clients are just comparing rates on a spreadsheet, but they're priceless when it comes time to getting the job actually done. You have to start naming those things in your outreach. Start calling attention to what makes you irreplaceable and teaching your prospects what that is. Because if you don't spell it out to them, folks, they're never going to know. And by the way, if your cold emails sound robotic, and your site is full of cliches like warm and conversational, and your LinkedIn profile reads like an AI-generated resume, well, congratulations, you're blending right into the problem. You sound like a machine, and then you have the balls to wonder why you're getting replaced by one. Knock that shit off. Use your actual voice in marketing. The same tone as you would use if you were grabbing coffee with that producer or cracking jokes on a session. Stop hiding behind and sanitizing your message under the guise of professionalism. And stop making your branding so safe and so beige that no one remembers that you exist. Start showing up like somebody who's got a brain and a personality and a point of view and maybe a little edge, because here's the truth. Authenticity is magnetic, and AI can't touch that shit. Here's a little mindset shift for you. The fact that customers are now sampling AI, that's not your problem. That is your advantage. Because when you do win the job, after the client has said, you know what, we've tried AI and we really need a human voice for this, you're not just another option. You're the one they chose despite not being cheaper or faster or easier. You're the one that makes them feel like they're playing on a higher level. So own that. Do not shrink your rates just to fit into this AI box. Stand tall and position yourself as the premium choice, the expert who's here to make the final product actually good. That's what they're hiring for, even if they don't know it at first. It's not good enough just to be talented. You have to be strategic. Start by niching into areas where AI doesn't cut the mustard. Long-form narration that requires subtle pacing shifts. Scripts where you have to understand context. Projects with evolving direction that absolutely require collaboration. And go deep on client relationships. Be ridiculously, maniacally helpful. Deliver on time. Show up on time. Make suggestions when they make sense. Become the go-to voice, not because you're convenient, but because you bring something to the table that's invaluable. Start charging for usage and licensing if you aren't already. Educate your clients. Send articles. Send behind-the-scenes notes. Position yourself as a consultant who's keeping them ahead of the game. Because when the budget gets tight, there's a lot of economic uncertainty right now in the second quarter of 2025. When the purse strings tighten, the client who sees you as a trusted advisor won't even consider replacing you. And in fact, they'll fight to keep you. You know what's worse than AI taking your job? You quitting before it even has the chance. I've seen amazing, talented, more talented than me, voice actors that spiral into self-doubt when they see some sort of clickbait article on AI domination, and it breaks my damn heart every single time. Yeah, things are changing. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, some work is going away, but that doesn't mean yours has to. You can adapt and pivot and market smarter. And honestly, most of your competition won't, because they're too busy bitching about gatekeepers on Reddit. That's your window. The voiceover industry isn't dying. It's not even close. It's evolving. And the voice actors who thrive moving forward into the back half of the 2020s and into the 2030s, they're not going to be the ones that hide. They're going to be the ones who lead. If you try to beat AI at being fast and cheap, you're going to get your ass handed to you every single time. So stop playing that game. Play the human game. Play the high-touch, high-trust game, the high-impact game. Get clear and grounded on the value that only you can bring. Be bold in the way that you talk about it, and get relentless about showing up like a pro. Because yeah, AI can replicate sound, but only you can move, touch, and inspire. Now, if you want some help dialing in your messaging and standing out from the bots so that clients actually pay attention to your message, I've put together a free handbook for you called The Voice Actor's Guide to Positioning Against AI to help you uncover your unique value and start pitching with confidence. I'll put the link to that in the description and show notes below. It's absolutely free. Yeah, well, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, a subscribe, a follow on the audio podcast. The more we talk and exchange information, the better, stronger industry we will have for everybody. And me, probably without this guy. Well, we'll see you again here soon.